Hey, what's up YouTube? Alright, it's time for some more video reviews. Well, not more, but we're going to give you, what I'm going to do is going to give you an updated look at my collection as of now. So I'm going to do a short little mini series of videos, be about 5 videos going over my main guns as of right now. I do have more than this, but these are like my 5 guns that I always choose from because they're fantastic, they work great. All of them are custom by me, and well, custom, some are less than others, but you get the idea. So we're going to start off with some of my personal favorites. Now let me ask you, what's better than a saw? Probably a custom saw, especially one that can really just act as a support weapon more than a stock one can. Stock ones, you can hold the trigger down continuously for 3-4 minutes straight and empty the whole 2,500 round box magazine. Delta One or Ace-Spec Airsoft did a video of this, just holding the gun trigger down on one of these guns about 3 minutes. It lasts, but in the long run, you're gonna wear stuff out. The stock motor probably wasn't doing too good after that. So what I do to I love my saws, and so what I did to this is I have a special wiring system, and the biggest thing with these saws is you burn through the micro switches. And what I did with this is I actually put an auto relay in here. And what it does is I have the relay hooked up to the trigger alone, and then a power source for the relay is just a basic 9-volt battery. And so what it does is when I pull the trigger, there's no batteries right now, but hear the little clicking? That's the relay clicking on and off. And so it's a 40 amp or a 60 amp auto relay that can take up to like 14 volts. So I run this on 11.1 LiPo and with 12 gauge wiring. Yes, 12 gauge wiring. It's absolutely massive, but very little resistance, and it works fantastic. So I pretty much have the auto. So I have the trigger hooked up to the auto relay, and the battery hooked right up, goes right to the relay, and then right to the motor. Doesn't run the trigger in between there. So that way, my triggers last forever. I never burn out triggers. I don't have to worry about that. All the power goes right to the motor, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about it cycling right through the trigger, and that's just a problem. And also, you reach a point where you can only put so much power through the trigger. Even right before it burns out, you can get a lot going through, but it's still not going to be the full potential of the battery. So anyways, I have a high torque motor in here. I have a SHS piston. I have a GMP explosive piston head. I have I think in this gun, let's see some of my wiring. I think I have either a Matrix high torque or an Echo 1, which is pretty much just an Element rebrand, high torque motor. And I choose high torque over high speed because if need be, like I'm going to a game this winter where the field limits allow you to have a gun up to 600 FPS. The only rule there is the minimum engagement distance is 125 feet, which in the long run, if you have an upgraded gun, that's nothing. Especially for a support gun or saws, you can really get these things shooting far. So I can upgrade my gun all the way up there, and other times my field I play here, the limit's 400. So high torque motors, as long as you have everything else set up for it, if you just swap the springs in and out, you'll be fine. I have a full steel rack piston in here, so I can throw an M160 spring in here and not be too worried about it. I wouldn't obviously do long bursts with that, but I can throw an M160 spring here and the motor can handle it, or I can put an M120 spring in here and the motor will shoot that just fine as well. And they kind of settle out right between about 25 rounds a second. So that's pretty good. This is one of them. All right. Now this one, it looks pretty stock aside from I have a full stock and a paralink barrel. Now this one, on the other hand, this is my gun that I usually like to run because it is just so bloody fantastic. Alright, so we have this stock right here, the para stock, but it has a custom front end, which I did myself. And it is 1/4-inch plexiglass that I molded. I got some PVC in here, and I just redid the whole front end. And this one actually, the reason this is so nice is if you see in here, I have my, right here is a 9-volt battery. Which is set up for the whole, it's got the same auto relay as in this saw right here. And actually, I have a half-charged 7.4 volt LiPo in here right now. And so I'm just going to shoot it really quick to give you an idea of rate of fire. And this is shooting right about 410 FPS. So, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's kept got almost the same internals as that one. It's just got a whole different body. And this is all done by me, and I absolutely love it. I got the idea from one of the Transformers movies. It's this, I call this gun the meat grinder, so it's got the meat grinder carved into the side here, as you can see. Because this gun is just fantastic. And then the team that I play on, our name is Skull Empire, so I have Skull Empire carved in the side right here. But yep, and it is sturdy. It's got a bolt going right through here, so you just pull this off, and the whole front barrel comes out like it regularly would. It's not really that big of an issue. But anyways, this is what I got so far. I'm probably going to keep it like this. I like mine stripped down. I usually don't use sight because it's a support gun, and usually I just walk the BB to the target. I'm not worried about getting a guy in the first 2-3 shots like I would if I had a rifle sighted in or anything with red dot. With this, I can just pull the trigger down and spray and spray and spray because it got the same wiring system in there. It has a, I'm not sure what length barrel. It's a little bit longer than the standard para barrel you put in here. The inner barrel stops right about here, which is a little bit longer than your standard para, but it's not totally the full length. You can see, I can't really see down there. But anyways, this acts as a nice little amplifier. It's loud, it's mean, it's nasty, and you can hear it from anywhere in the field. It's fantastic. And just the sound of fear is a good thing to have when you're playing airsoft. It's always nice. So that's my other saw. So yes, I do have 2 saws. I love them. They're fantastic. I would recommend anyone get one if looking for a support weapon. This or an RPK. Don't try to pull any of that G36 with a drum mag crap. It looks horrible. And G3s, they don't stand up to these. These gearboxes are absolutely ridiculous. They would survive a nuclear explosion. So this and cockroaches will all be left after they went off. So anyways, that has been my review of my 2 custom saws. I hope you like them. If you have any questions on wiring or anything, I'm sure I can do some diagrams, something like that, if I get enough requests for it. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll have the next video coming up soon.